Let's clear something up. Most people don't fail financially because they're lazy. That's the bedtime story. The adult version of the monster isn't real. It's the story people tell themselves because it's simple. If laziness is the problem, then the solution feels clean. Work harder, wake up earlier, push more, sacrifice more. And if someone fails, well, they must not have wanted it badly enough. That story is comforting. It lets people feel morally superior. It lets them believe success is about character, not structure. That if you just are the right kind of person, things will eventually work out. And it's wrong. Most people fail financially because they choose slow paths and call them responsible. They choose paths that feel safe, paths that look good on paper, paths that come with titles, ladders, and predictable steps, paths that don't scare their parents, paths that sound impressive when explained over chicken at a family dinner. They optimize for approval instead of leverage. They optimize for stability instead of upside. They follow rules that were written for a world that rewarded patience more than positioning. It's like blaming the oven when you followed the wrong recipe, or choosing the treadmill because it feels like exercise, even though it goes nowhere. You're sweating, your legs hurt, your heart rate is up, so it must be working, except the scenery never changes. And then they're shocked, genuinely confused, when 10 years pass and nothing has changed. Same income, same stress, same conversations, same jokes about one day things slowing down. Just more responsibility, just more back pain. This isn't about effort. It's about sequence, and most people get the sequence wrong. They think working harder fixes bad order. It doesn't. Hard work in the wrong direction just gets you lost faster. Let's talk about side hustles. Side hustles sound productive. They feel productive. They give you something to point to when someone asks, "So, what are you working on?" They give you the illusion of momentum without actually moving you anywhere. Like revving a car in neutral and wondering why you're still in the driveway. You're busy, you're tired, you're building something, but nothing compounds, nothing accelerates, nothing clicks. And because you're exhausted, you assume you must be doing it right. We confuse suffering with progress, like pain automatically equals growth. Like struggle is proof you're on the right path. Most side hustles aren't businesses. They're disguised labor. They're jobs you created for yourself without the benefits, without the stability, and without the leverage. You didn't escape the system. You just became your own worst boss, working longer hours for less predictable pay, with no off switch. It's like building your own cage and congratulating yourself for the craftsmanship. Here's the trap. Side hustles promise freedom later. Later when it works, later when it scales, later when you finally figure it out. But later is where dreams go to die. Later is the storage unit where ambition collects dust and unpaid fees. Later is how people protect hope without risking clarity. Because as long as it's later, it hasn't failed yet, and life doesn't pause while you experiment. Bills don't wait. Energy doesn't wait, motivation doesn't wait, and every month you spend on a slow path is a month you don't get back. Let me give you an image. Imagine you're stranded in a desert. You need water, so you start digging. You grab a spoon and you start digging. Every day you dig a little more. You tell yourself, at least I'm trying. Effort becomes the identity, not results. Your hands hurt. The sun is brutal. Progress is invisible. Then you look up, and someone else walks by. They don't have a spoon, they have a map. They walk straight to a pipe, turn a valve, and water starts flowing. That's the difference between most hustles and skills. Hustles dig, skills tap into pipes. Hustles hope someone cares. Skills solve problems people already pay for. Money doesn't reward effort. Money rewards positioning. It's not who runs hardest, it's who starts closest to the finish line. It rewards being close to existing demand. Not potential demand, not future demand, existing demand. Skills sit next to money, always have, always will. If a business already makes money, and your skill helps that business make more money, save money, reduce risk, or increase speed. They don't need convincing. They're already paying someone. You're just stepping into the flow, like swapping seats on a moving train instead of trying to build one from scratch. That's why skills get paid fast. Not because they're magical, not because they're glamorous, but because the transaction is clean. Problem, solution, payment. No audience building, no brand journey, no waiting for algorithms to notice you. Just value exchanged for money. Compare that to most hustles. You create something. You hope someone wants it. You hope they find it. You hope they trust you. You hope they buy. That's not a plan. That's a prayer with a Canva logo. And that's a lot of hoping for something that's supposed to pay your rent. Now here's where people get defensive. They say, but I don't want to trade time for money forever. Good, you shouldn't. But here's the mistake. They try to skip the step that actually buys them freedom. Skills buy time, and time is the first asset you need before any other asset makes sense. You don't buy furniture before the house has walls. You don't decorate instability. You stabilize first. Everyone wants assets, passive income, investments, businesses that run without them. But assets require capital. They require patience. They require margin for error. And you don't get those by being broke, stressed, and running 3 side hustles. You can't play chess when you're underwater. Skills come first because they stabilize your life. They reduce financial noise. They give you breathing room. They turn panic into planning. Once you have time, you can think clearly. Once you think clearly, you can build intelligently. This is why sequence matters. Skill, income, time, assets, not the other way around. Most people reverse it. They chase assets without income. They chase freedom without leverage. They chase scale without stability. And when it doesn't work, they blame themselves. They think they're not disciplined enough, not smart enough, not motivated enough. In reality, they just chose the wrong order. This channel is about sequence, not motivation, not hustle porn, not fantasies, sequence. Because the order you do things in determines how hard your life feels. Skills first, always.